Racism exists in society in small forms such as beauty standards, which are more focused on women, and media coverage that often goes unnoticed before pointed out. Today in the US, many women of color constantly face discrimination due to their non-white bodies. This can be seen through society putting down black and brown women by suggesting they need to lighten their skin, change their eye color, change the way they behave, and implying that they do not have the same intelligence as their white peers.
As a result, this further repeats a harmful cycle of racism that impacts black and brown girls. In order to combat this thinking, we must look at how social media filters, discriminatory remarks in sports, and the modern job force produce an environment where these stereotypes flourish. Understanding each topic through a sociological lens, such as the intersection of race and gender, can further bring awareness to the changes that needs to be made in our society.
Mary's going to talk to us about modern institutional racism and sexism.
Because of gender roles, it is often more difficult for women to gain success in certain professions, and they are often expected to carry out pink-collar jobs rather than white-collar jobs or blue-collar jobs. Women are often expected to carry out all housework and childcare in a family, while men are often expected to work and provide financially for the family. We are about to add a graph that focuses on the pay discrepancy based on gender. As we are able to see in the graph, women's jobs in the 1970s were often low-paid service industry jobs such as cleaning buildings, filing papers, and making coffee. Perceived differences in race have no biological backing, but often lead to stereotypes of certain races, such as black people being more athletic and less intelligent than white people. Racist thinking is sociologically essentialist, meaning racism disregards race as a social construct, which leads to and validates harmful stereotypes surrounding different races.
Now I'm going to talk about filters that enhance more white features. Racism is embedded in today's society in things we wouldn't usually talk about, such as Snapchat filters. In the article, Mirror, Mirror on the Wall, Who is the Whitest of Them All? Racial Biases in Social Media Beauty Filters, Social Media and Society, Beauty Filters on Social Media are examined. The issue is that these filters are not just beauty tools, but powerful technology mechanisms that reproduce racial inequality. The beauty standards are incorporated in everyday media interactions and represent how people decide what is attractive, altering the face of individuals to take on this perception. Beauty filters demonstrate lightening the skin while creating narrow facial features and other white features. There is an encouragement of the idea of colorism and distorted beauty ideals, which would obviously have a negative effect on the way a person perceives themselves. These filters do more than shape images, they also shape self-perception, contributing to a lower self-esteem, alongside the normalization of whiteness being considered the standard of what is attractive. The article illustrates just one of the many ways in which racism is shown within aspects of everyday life, even in subtle ways. Beauty standards often contain racist aspects, and it is important to bring attention to that. Social media platforms should be held accountable for these impacts, and hopefully in the future there will be a more inclusive design within social media.
I'm focusing on difference in language when describing black and white athletes. In the article, Skin in the Game, there is a significant difference in how commentators report on white and black athletes, even if their performances are the same. Their diction reflects subtle racial biases. The researchers analyzed the broadcast from the NCAA games and reflected on how announcers commented on players. The results all consisted of light-skinned players being described on their intelligence, efforts, and decision-making, using terms such as smart, hardworking, or great leaders. Dark-skinned players, however, were described using physical characteristics like athletic, strong, or fast. This suggests that white athletes gain their success through hard work or intelligence, whereas black athletes gain their success through natural physical abilities. This connects to the concept of colorism, which is discrimination based on skin tone, even within the same racial group. It proves that it can go unnoticed in language or in sports announcing. In relation to gender roles and racism, we can compare two female athletes, Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese, and how they were treated in the 2023 NCAA championship. Both players showed similar competitiveness and shared the same sportsmanship on the court. However, Clark was mainly praised by viewers and announcers, whereas Reese was criticized as classless or unsportsmanlike. This shows the connection between race and gender. Women athletes face a lot of pressure and criticism, and being a black woman, you are judged more harshly for showing confidence or emotion.
Racism today isn't always obvious. It often operates subtly through media, language, and everyday systems. From beauty filters to workplace inequality, these examples show how race and gender intersect to shape people's experiences. These patterns aren't random, they're built and reinforced by society.
Viewing this through a sociological lens reminds us that these biases are learned, which means they can be challenged, but change requires more than awareness. It takes accountability for media, institutions, and individuals. Ultimately, progress means redefining what society sees as normal or successful so that women of color and all individuals are valued without pressure to conform.
I'm sorry.
3, 2.
In relation to gender roles and racism,